and stealing and robbing going on in our community. Black lives don't matter, but white lives do. Black people value white lives more than they value their own lives. So this is a solution in the community. Read. I'm not answering your questions. You know why? Because you're so aggressive. I don't want to deal with aggressive women. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So we look down at Jesus Christ's feet, and he said they was like brass, as if it burned in a furnace. What happens, Malaysia? What happens when you burn something? Your mama ever burn some toast before? You can tell her, it's okay. She ever burn some toast or some chicken or something, left it in the oven for too long, some rice, it turns black. So he looked down at Christ's feet and he said they was black, as if they burned in a furnace. Now, my sisters, how can you get a white man out of something that's burnt? You can't. So the image that's been taught to us all throughout the world, not only do we believe that Jesus Christ is white, anywhere in the world you go, they think that this is Jesus Christ. Right. Because this image has been pushed all throughout the world. Why? To say that they mean more than we do.
Right.
Think about it. When black people shoot black people, nothing happens. But when black people, how am I saying? When black people shoot black people, nothing happens. But when a white man shoot a black person, we quick to forgive them. You will see it on the TV, oh, I forgive you. But when we kill each other, it's murder season. We're gonna make sure we go get that person, right? A man can lay down with a woman and have a baby by and leave. A woman can so freely give her body up. That's because we don't have that self-love. We don't look at each other like God sees us. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6. And that's what we out here to tell our people. The condition that we are in today and the condition that we've been in, this didn't happen to us because God hates us. This happened to us because God loves us. Them your children, right? When they do something wrong, what do? Do you just wink at their ignorances, or do you punish them? They get whoopings. They don't get whoopings. You put them on punishment. Do you take things from them? Kids, get what the foolish is bound in the heart of a child. Kids gonna do something. I'm pretty sure when they was growing up, you probably told them not to do something, and they did it, and you had to punish them, right? Yeah, they ain't never got no whooping. I ain't never seen them kids before. You know, my kids are small. I gotta whoop them kids all the time. I gotta fuss them all the time. But I don't do it because I hate them. I do it because I love them. And it's some behavior within them that I don't want to be there. So I have to punish them to push them in the right direction. Read that.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So it may not seem like it today, but these people that you see on this sign, y'all, we are the gods and the princesses on this earth. Right. God chose us to be above all people. But the reason why we suffer the way we do today is because we have strayed away from his commandments. What are some of his commandments, you might ask? Give me Exodus 28. Because today is what the Lord calls his Sabbath day. Y'all ever heard of the Sabbath day? Never heard of it? Y'all go to church? Y'all don't go to church neither? I wouldn't say that's a bad thing, because they're not teaching nothing in the church. But the church that y'all should be coming to is our church. Why? Because we instill God's commandments within your lives. Read that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So we established earlier that the Sabbath day is on what day? Saturday. It's on Saturday, right? So today is the Lord's Sabbath day. What are some of the things that we shouldn't be doing on the Lord's Sabbath day? Continue.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant.
So on today, we're not supposed to be working, right? There is no work to be done today. But what are some of the things that we should be doing? Give me Leviticus 23 and verse 2. So we should be congregating, like you said earlier, right? That's something that we got to do. But what hasn't been taught throughout America is that on the Sabbath day, you know what we can't do? We're not supposed to be buying or selling. We're not supposed to be spending no money today, and we're not supposed to be cooking today. But a lot of our people do what? On Saturday, what? They got to wake up Sunday morning. You got to have that breakfast Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying? You might forget some sugar for the Kool-Aid. You got to run to the store. You got to put gas in your car. But the Lord said we are people of preparation. So we got to do these things before the Sabbath day. Why? Read. Verse 2.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them.
The people that you see on this sign, what'd you say your name was again, sis? Nia? Kia. The people that you see on this sign right here, the American blacks, the Jamaicans, the Haitians, all the way down to the Mexicans, Native American Indians, Cubans, we are the children of Israel. And this Bible that we're reading right now has never been for all people. Now I know in church we've been taught that Jesus Christ is coming back to save all people. That's not true. Jesus Christ, the man that you see on this sign right here, say he has a particular people that he came back to save, that he's coming back to save. You know who that people is? It's us. But in order for God to come back and save us, we have to be keeping his commandments. Because how do you show your kids you love them? You tell them you love them, but what else do you do for them? You take care of them. You make sure they got clothes on their back. You make sure they got food. They got a roof over their head. You married? You dealing with somebody? Huh? You was married. You divorced, right? So in your relationship with your children, in order for you to show them you love them, there's things that you do for them. Why is it not the same with us and God? Like, how do we show God that we love him? Because we can't reach up and give him a hug. We can tell him, but like, do we know if he's hearing us or not? Give me 1 John 5 and 3. So if we show our kid, if you show your child that you love him by the things that you do for him, the same rules apply to God. The reason why we in the position that we in today, the reason why we had to go through all this slavery and oppression, the reason why we still getting shot down in the street, the reason why so much violence in our community is because we strayed away from God. So in order for these things to get fixed, we got to show God that we love him. But how do we do that? Read.
It's the book of 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
So God said that we love him, we got to keep his commandments. What are some of God's commandments? Honor thy father and thy mother, which is true. What else? We can't be lying on one another. What are some of God's commandments to kill? Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. What else? You said thou shalt not steal. So those are the 10 commandments, right? Are there anything outside of the 10 commandments that we need to be doing to show God that we love him?
We need to be praising God.
We need to be who?
Praising.
Yeah, we do need to be praising, but how do we praise him?
By prayer.
I mean, yeah, we gotta pray. Give me Deuteronomy. Give me Leviticus 19 and 27, and then give me Deuteronomy 22 and 5. So I'm gonna give you 2 commandments to, outside of the 10. This is how we show God that we love him. Read that.
It's the book of Leviticus chapter 19 verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your head, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
So God said we can't round the corners of our head, nor can we shave off the corners of our beard. You see how you got that goatee cut up real nice? The Lord said we can't bald our faces like that. Because those things we learned when we was in Egypt. A lot of the things that we do today, the way our women dress, the holidays we celebrate, the foods that we eat, we learn those things in America. Like Halloween. Y'all just celebrate Halloween? What is Halloween about? It's a pagan holiday that has its roots in satanic worship, devil worship. What about Thanksgiving? Y'all gonna celebrate that too, right? You don't gonna celebrate? She said yeah. You said no.
My goddaughter, her mother is.
Okay. You don't celebrate holidays. Do you eat pork? You don't eat no pork?
I'm vegan.
You vegan? Okay. You celebrate your birthday? No, you said not really. You know, so you celebrate a little bit.
Me.
Who?
People around me.
But you accept those things that they do for you, right? So that will be a form of celebrating or worshiping, right? What I had you hold? Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Read that. So one of the ways you can show God that you love him is by not shaving your beard. That's a commandment that's not in the 10 commandments, but it's a commandment that God gave the children of Israel. That's who we are. And it's important that we keep these things, because in keeping these things, that's how we show God that we love him, if we're obedient to him. So that's for you. Now my sister, read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So what is some clothing that men should not wear that belongs to women? A dress, right? Why would you say, I mean, it's obvious that a dress would be woman's clothing, right? I would say so. Like, a man shouldn't wear a dress. If you seen a man with a dress on, what would you say? He gay. It's okay to say he gay. He a faggot. He fruitful. He fruity. You know what I'm saying? That's what we say. We put see a man on with a dress, because a dress belongs to who? Huh? So that's teaching judgment. How are we judging that person? Did God just judge them, or did we judge them? Did I say a man not supposed to wear that? Huh?
Either way,
Well, I would say that's something that's taught by America, because America say not to judge, yet and still they judge us all the time. Now I'm gonna teach what the Bible say. Now a man shouldn't wear that belongs to a woman, because that will be effeminate, right? But likewise, let's not get off topic, because we're gonna visit that topic again. Read the first part again.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Now what do women have on most of the time that belongs to men? If a dress is for a woman, then the pants that women have on belong to who? They belong to men. So women should not be wearing those things. So it goes back to my first question. If you show your God children that you love them by the things that you do for them, how are we gonna show God that we love them? It's by the things that we do for him. So as a woman, you shouldn't be wearing pants. Why? Because they belong to men. Now that's one way to show God that you love him, if you really love him. Because what does that type of behavior create in our community, right? What happens when you single? It don't matter if you're single, but when you see a woman of her stature, right? If you look at her, would you be looking at her to wife her, or would you be trying to, you know what I'm saying, get the draws? Yeah, we're trying to get the draws. Why? Because your shape is not supposed to. Give me 1 Timothy 2:9. The shape is your shape is not supposed to be shown. That's supposed to be something that's kept between you and God, or you and your husband. Man, that's not judgment, that's truth.
That's right.
That's truth. Read what you got.
1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
So God said that women are supposed to adorn themselves in modest apparel. What is a modest apparel? What does it mean to be modest? Modest is not drawing sexual attention to yourself.
That's right.
That's what modest means. So a woman should what? I disagree. Give me Matthew 5 and 28. A woman should be modest in general.
But
clothing has a lot to do with it. Well, why do police wear police uniform? Why do police wear police uniform? Because that's their oppression. So when you see that man in his uniform, you know what? That he's a police. So your attire has a lot to do with how you view yourself. What's that, Sirach 19:29? Read that.
Proverbs 7. Yep. Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart.
So you can tell, like it said, there met him a woman that had on the attire of an harlot. Now, based on what you said, the Lord shouldn't have wrote that because he's judging that woman. No, he's showing you that the type of clothes that women wear reveals what they are mentally. The attire of an harlot, like people walk around with costumes on, right? They dress up as police officers. That's the attire of that officer. So there are women out here that have on the attire of an harlot. Sirach 19:29.
Sirach chapter 19, verse 29. A man may be known by his look.
A man or a woman may be known by what they wearing. They used to say back in the day, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can judge a book by its cover.
That's right.
You look at men that got their pants down, they got Glocks on them. What you say? Oh, he from the streets. He from the hood. I'm judging him based off his attire. So a man and women are gonna be judged on based on what they wear. Go ahead.
A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. A man's attire and access of laughter and gait show where he is.
So a woman that has on a dress that's modest, that's not showing her shape, it says that she's not the one to be approached in a whorish manner. You see what I'm saying? Because if you dressing like that, if men approach you that way, you can't say, "Oh, why you approaching me? Look at how you look." Same thing with a man. When we see young men, we tell them to pull their pants up. Why? Because you don't. If you're walking around with your pants down, that's the stereotype that you can give. You can't be mad when people stereotype you, because we live up to that stereotype. You see what I'm saying? So we trying to change the culture, and the only way to change the culture is by coming back to God's commandments.
Right.
All right, big bro. What he told y'all when y'all walked up here? What he said? What he said to y'all to get y'all up here?
You got some kind of belief.
Huh?
You got some kind of belief.
Y'all got some type of belief. What does it mean to believe? What do y'all believe in?
You the same thing y'all believe.
What do we believe?
I'm the honest. I'm the original.
We the originals, right? What makes us the originals?
I can't say I'm flop, but I just know
I want you to look at that flyer right there on the first page, right? You see Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. I want you to read along with me, right? Because you say we the originals, but you can't prove to me how. So I'm gonna show you how I know that we the originals. How I know that we the people of the book. How I know that we the people that God chose, and we the people that He coming back to save.
That's right.
How do I know that the reason why this happened to us? Because you ask people all the time, like, why did we go into slavery as a nation of people? And they can't never tell you. But God told us that this happened to us because we strayed away from His commandment. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Where your flyer at, bro?
in the car.
He got you one right there. I want you to read along with me. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Big bro, come on up. Come on up. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all His commandments and His statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So God said if we didn't keep His commandments, and them Israelites didn't keep His commandments, that curses was going to come upon us and overtake us. Now, just to give you a little backstory, before Moses freed these people out of Egypt, we were slaves in Egypt. So the same way we were slaves in America, these people right here were slaves in Egypt. Right. The same thing they had us doing in Egypt, they had us doing in America, right? Now give me verse 68. Now I want you to open that flyer up to the second page and look at the top. You see Deuteronomy 28, 68 in there somewhere? Come here, let me see it. Come here, real quick. Come on up. I don't know exactly where it at. There you go, right there. So we about to read Deuteronomy 28 and 68. All right, read that.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So Moses told these people that he was going to take them back into Egypt. Now we just came out of Egypt. We just came out of bondage. Right. He said, I'm going to take y'all back to Egypt, but this time I'm going to take y'all on ships. Now my two sisters right here, y'all learned about slavery in school? How did black people get to this side of the world? Big bro, in the black shirt, how did we get to this side of the world? Right, but what's the way of transportation? How did they get us over here? They got us over here on boats, right? So look at that. Look at Deuteronomy 28:6-8 again. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
He said He was gonna bring us into slavery again, but this time on ships. So we got to this side of the world. How, my brother? On ships. We came from Africa to America on ships. Read.
Again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So it said when we got to this side of the world, what happened, bro? We got sold for slave men and slave women. They had us on auction blocks, they broke up our families, and they sold us off to different places.
What is a nation? Nation Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community.